Back in 2017, I visited the self-governing territory of Somaliland in the Horn of Africa to report on a humanitarian disaster propelled by climate change. A 3-year drought had turned its once fertile soil to dust. Over 6 million people faced displacement and famine. Children there faced the double threat of hunger, malnutrition and cholera. I met Asha in a remote part of Somaliland who said she had been left with nothing.
I lost 2 baby daughters to the drought, she told me. My husband lies sick at home, unable to get up. I've come here for help.
8 years on, the East African territory has made progress on many fronts, recently concluding a democratic, multi-party election with a peaceful transfer of power as it continues to campaign for formal international recognition. However, it continues to face the threat of food insecurity due to the climate crisis which is affecting the whole of the Horn of Africa. I'm joined now by Abdillahi Osman, Somaliland Minister of Environment and Climate Change, who's in London. Welcome, Minister Osman. Somaliland continues to confront vulnerabilities on many fronts due to climate change. You're in London. You met the British Minister of Climate. What did you discuss and what can Somaliland do to try and halt the climate crisis effects on its country?
Yeah, thank you for welcoming me here. As you said, I met with the Minister of Climate, UK. What we discussed it is, first of all, we talking about the situation we are in at the moment. There are semi-drought in the country. The phenomenon of El Nino is happening in there. On top of all the impact, climate change impact we were living in, we are in the epicenter of that change. And on top of that, we discussed that what we need to confront with that, which is we have to adapt, make adaptation on what's happening. And we ask it for, international funds to be maintained as they used to be. I know it's a difficult time all around.
Well, it is a difficult time because, I mean, the UK and, of course, the US have drastically cut international aid, affecting all levels of assistance. That makes it even more difficult, doesn't it? I mean, did you get promises of help, and what was the response?
It gets definitely it gets more difficult, and we understand that it's happening all over the world, and we have to face that and do our part. We have to also use our meager resources to the full, and we did not get to the point where we have to get an answer for yes and no. But diplomacy don't work that way in this situation. But we are optimistic about that our plea will be heard, and we get positive answers from the UK government.
What do you remember from 2017? I mean, we were both there. I remember sort of meeting you. You were in opposition at the time. How bad was it? I mean, what do you remember from that time?
That was a terrible time, as you have mentioned it, and millions of livestock perished through that drought, close to a famine, really. And we have to keep in mind what's happening, and we have to fight against that. So we need to do our part by reforestation, by water catchment, by pastoral, by getting seeds that's climate change resistant, and we have to do data collection. We have to do early warning systems, and there's a lot of things that we have to do, so we cannot repeat.
So your strategy is to ask for real technical, high-tech help, rather than just saying, give us money to cope with the situation ourselves.
Yes, that's what we did. We also asked for people to be trained in these universities, and we had a good response about that as well. And we thank the Minister of Climate that she made a different group of with different ministries and government institutions to come up with the best answer that we can get assistance for.
I mean, the Horn of Africa is an incredibly strategic part of the world. I mean, you've got Yemen opposite you. 20% of global shipping and trade passes by the shores of Somaliland. What can Somaliland offer in order to convince, under very difficult times for Western governments, to commit to climate change? I mean, what can you... We live in a very transactional sort of world these days in terms of governments. I mean, what are you arguing for in terms of help to avoid another famine, basically?
First of all, we have to come up with, we have to maintain the peaceful existence that we have at the moment, the stability of our government and nation. And we have to ask for investment. So we can mitigate or come again, the effects of or the impacts of what shall I say, the climate change that's affecting us. And we have resources, untapped resources like minerals. We have a coastline of 850 kilometers.
Are those minerals? I mean, you say untapped minerals. I mean, are they things that are relevant to green energy?
They should be. We are trying to. We will offer to change to tap to the solar energy as well as the wind energy, which is readily available in 12 months a year in our country. And we contribute to that. We can with the assistance of the international community, we can plant mangroves in our coastlines, which is one of the best plants that can absorb the carbon.
What is the situation now? I mean, the climate crisis and fragility of food supplies and the threat to livestock still continues. I mean, 8 years on. Yeah. But what's the situation today? It's surely not as bad as 2017, but nothing's guaranteed, right?
Nothing is guaranteed. We are always on the verge of, it can happen to either side. We don't have that much resistance to it. We don't have that much food security. So we have to take into account for all that and try our best to save food for in case it happens. We have to return the livestock that perished in different programs that the international community helps us with.
Let me ask you, I mean, a wider question, a wider political and international question now, I mean, away from the sort of climate crisis. Somaliland was in the spotlight recently because it was suggested that the United States had proposed that Palestinians who wanted to leave Gaza abroad, Somaliland might be one of the places that could take Palestinians from Gaza. What's the situation with that? Because obviously it caused quite an international headlines.
I think that was something that was spread by people who are not friendly with Somaliland, mainly Somalia. But for us, we did not hear anything from the United States. We don't want to proceed before things happen, and most certainly we sympathize with the Palestinian people, and we like all hostilities to stop. We like that they get peace, and whatever their aspirations are. But on the other hand, we would like to deal with the United States in an international manner, in a good footing, and we would like to have good relations with the United States, as many countries are doing. We are part of the international community. We would like to show them what we can offer and what they can help with us. But I should say we did not hear anything that's concerning the Palestinians from them or from any other one in that case.
Okay, Minister Abdillahi Osman, Minister of Environment and Climate Change for the Republic of Somaliland. Thanks very much indeed for joining us.
Thank you. You're welcome. Thank you very much.